I read Mason Deaver's incredible novel, and I'd never felt more connected with a character in a book before, and I just had this intuitive knowing that I should adapt it into a feature. I just wanted as many people to experience Ben's story as possible. I think I learned a lot of grace and empathy for every side of the business in directing my first film. I mean, it's something that I've wanted to do since I was a kid, and it just feels like a wish fulfillment, and I'm excited to continue my career as a director.
A lot of things drew me to this story. I think working with Tommy was something that I was really looking forward to doing. I think she has such a great handle on, she's right there, so I'm looking at her. She has such a great handle on what it means to grow up as a queer person, I think, in this world. And that's something that I'm really wanting to explore, is just like finding your place in the world. And Ben is a perfect example of someone who, you know, comes from extenuating circumstances, and through the love that they receive from the people in their life, overcome it. And I think that's really hopeful. When we were filming it, we kind of realized that this movie is a character study of a kid who grew up in the South and is, putting themselves in a situation where they can hopefully expand and not shrink into themselves. And you see Ben through so many different versions of themselves in the movie, and as it goes on, you see them really open up and not hide themselves. So it was just kind of like being a person, I think, for the first time. It was so exciting, like on camera.
I am the mom, and she does not handle the situation very well at all. So I'm kind of the bad guy. But part of the truth of families for these kids a lot is that their parents don't accept them and they get kicked out. And unfortunately, that's the situation for this kid. But luckily, they have a really beautiful home with their sister. And but yeah, I'm sort of a religious fundamentalist who can't really accept my child. It was amazing. I mean, it's an incredible group of actors. I couldn't believe who. I had just been such a huge fan of Alexandra Daddario. I found out that she was going to be my daughter. They're just a really warm, creative, fun. And I think movies like this, when you do it from your heart and you're not doing it for a ton of money or a ton of power, you get some really beautiful work. So it was really fun.
I was very interested in working with Tommy Dorfman. I was incredibly impressed by her, and I thought it was an important story, and I was really drawn to the role. I was trying to be a mother at that time, so I think I was really drawn to the role of being a mother and being someone who was navigating supporting young people and helping guide them through life. I've been wanting to be a mother for so long, and all of a sudden Hannah is thrust with not only being a mother for the first time, having a baby, but also taking care of her younger brother and helping guide them through teenagehood. So I think that was just a challenge, and okay, what does this look like? And but it was this beautiful opportunity to tell a story that I feel is very important and play a role that, that's the kind of mother I'd like to be.
I love that the script was so authentic in its representation of teens on their journey of self-actualization and self-expression. It's not every day that you see a script that is so authentic in its portrayal of especially Gen Z teenagers. I think Tommy did a great job of capturing that voice. And it's filled with all of the ups and downs of truly the journey of adolescence. It's not ever a perfect, clean-cut story. We make mistakes as we grow. We make mistakes as we find ourselves. We make mistakes as we learn to love for the first time. It's all very overwhelming, all these feelings. But Ben's journey throughout the movie is so beautifully captured and really handled with a really delicate spirit. So I felt like it was something I knew I would be proud to be a part of, and I certainly am.
I feel like there hasn't been a story about a non-binary kid, and I feel like this is a really important story to tell, especially given the political climate of the world right now. So it's such an honor to be a part of something that has such a strong message. Something that was new for me was Tommy is the most giving director. She gave us so much liberty to play. I remember there were a couple times where we were pretty word perfect with the scene, and she was like, come on, bring your own flair to it, we casted you for a reason. So it was honestly such a fun time, and it was very creatively fulfilling.
What drew me into the story of I Wish You All the Best is, number one, it is such a heartfelt, beautiful story that Mason Deaver wrote. It is something that I feel like is so necessary right now, especially. Tommy is absolutely incredible. It was an honor to be a part of her directorial debut, but really just the minute that I read the book, like I said, it felt like such a necessary story for so many people, especially the queer community, especially non-binary teens. This is something that does not necessarily exist, and I think that what Tommy has done and Mason has done is incredibly groundbreaking, so I'm really honored to be a part of it.